Welcome back to the Ancient Enemies. You're here today with Jeremy and
Ben.
And we have a bit of a different format today. We're both here in person in the same room. So do an episode, a little bit of a different format, but
Yeah.
it'll be good. We'll try it out. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. We appreciate it. It lets us know you're out there and you guys care. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. But let's get right into it. So these three things you can improve on as a player in the Middle-earth strategy battle game. And these aren't just new player things. They're not, maybe you played the game tons.
Yeah, they happen to everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and even if you're not skilled or you think you're not skilled, these will make you a better player.
For sure.
You don't need to have a strategic mind to do these things. So what's the first one we're talking about here?
First, number one reason you're losing your games is you're getting tilted. I'm a big victim, not victim. I don't know what the word is. I do this a lot. I get tilted and I give up, mostly casually, but I'll just, the game's lost. Like I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done. The game's over. And you get tilted and then that skews your mind. Like the game's never over until it's over. It's a dice game at the end of the day. The dice could switch. If you're rolling bad, you give up. The dice could switch and you could start rolling hot, or I don't know. There's a million things that could happen in this game.
Yeah, it's a dice game.
It's a dice game. Yeah.
You could just roll 6 infinitely, and the other person could roll 1s, and you could win.
Yeah, exactly.
Tilted, tilted kind of has the connotation that you're angry, but it's not even necessarily that you're angry. When you get angry, that's never good either, because you often can't think straight. So it's not good to make decisions when you're angry.
And it's also, it's not good for your opponent too. Like it's a fun game. We want to have fun.
Yeah.
So getting angry about it's not going to do anything.
On a purely sportsmanship level. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't help your gameplay. Even if you're not tilted, but you just check out, so you're like, oh, this game's lost. You check out. The amount of games where I've done that, and then you get to the end of the game and you're like, I was one model away from winning or changing the score or whatever, is like too many to count. And it's like ingrained in me now to just play the game out. Like even if you feel like the game's lost, play it out. You never know what can happen. And Middle-earth will teach you that time and time again. So that's number one.
Number two, you're not playing the objective. You're on a dice streak, you're rolling hot, and you just want to kill. You just want to keep killing and killing and killing. And then by the time you realize you've already quartered your opponent and they have models on every objective, and you've got less, or you haven't killed the right stuff. You've just been killing troops, and you haven't killed the heroes, your target. You haven't killed. There's a million different things for every scenario. Every scenario ultimately has an objective. So when you lose sight of the objective, oftentimes you're going to lose the game.
Yeah, you've lost sight of the game. How many times do you think a game do you lose sight of the objective?
A few times at least.
A few times a game?
Yeah.
How many times have you ever, or even us, have we started a game and not written down the objective? So like assassination,
a million times. Or even we set up a game and then we just forget to set up any scenario and we end up just playing to the death, like 3 turns in.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, you're playing Fog of War, and then it's like, oops, we're already in the thick of it, and we forgot to write our... We're all culprits of that, and again, like, you can be playing the game for a long time and still, you're just so focused on get your models down on the table, figure out terrain, figure out all these things, and then just get into the thick of things, but there's still an objective at play. And I remember early on, in the first few games, learning the game. There was one game in particular, it was just like, oh man, I decimated my opponent. And then counting up the VPs, and you're reading through the objective, and you're like, oh wow, I lost this game.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And it's like, because the game's not all about killing.
Yeah.
So remember the objective. Again, that again, new and old players. It's an objective-based game. It's not just a kill game, which people often, we get sidetracked to doing so.
Yeah. What's number 3?
Number 3 is math. Simple maths. Understanding, you don't need to be a math genius to play this game. And you don't need to do, if you don't want to do the math on things, then don't. But if you want to play competitively, at least to some extent, you have to know probabilities. It's going to help you. I can't see a world where you don't know basic probabilities of things and you can fare well in a game.
Yeah.
So what would be an example of like a basic thing you should know as a player?
Basic thing, well, we talked about the Balrog is a 50-50 on whether he rolls a 6 or not on 4 dice on the attack.
Yeah, it's like 50.5 or something, 51%.
Yeah.
So you know on 4 dice, it's about a 50% chance to roll 6.
Yeah.
Balrog. And Balrog, again, if Balrog is in your meta or whatever, you should probably know that.
Yeah. And
that goes for charging heroes and things like that too, right? It's a basic math statistic that you should know.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing would be whether or not to take extra dice on. If you have the ability, a model has the ability to take an extra dice on the dual roll, or to roll more dice to, like the dwarves have different axes. Whether to roll, you need more dice to win the dual roll, or do you want to kill more? Knowing the probability of your 6%.
And that goes right into that's a tricky one, because when you start talking math, people's eyes can glaze over. But we're not asking you to, or telling you to figure out every like the minutiae of the percentages.
Yeah.
Like a good example there was, if you're like Kazagard and you're fight 5 and you're fighting let's say one dude, or maybe Kazagard's not a good example. Let's say you're Thranduil's Halls, you're fight 5 and you're trying to figure out if you want to take 2 dice as the warrior on the duel or the attack. Well, if you just want to win the fight, and let's say the other side has a low probability of killing you for whatever reason, then maybe it makes sense to take it on the attack. And you'll just take one on the duel, let them have their 2. You're an elf, so you're gonna win ties. Again, I don't know what that probability works out, but maybe that's not the smart decision. But the point is understanding what's high probability and what's low probability.
Yeah.
So Dane is an example that we always talk about. He's somebody that slaps back super hard. So Dane is a perfect example. If he's fight 7, he's strength 5, +1 to wound, D8. So you need to figure out what's the probability. Do I have a low, mediocre, high chance of beating Dane in the fight? That's the first thing you got to figure out. So let's say you're Glorfindel, right? Glorfindel's fight 8. Let's say you're both mightless. You're rolling the same amount of dice. You're higher fight. You have a better chance of winning. Okay, it's not great, but it's pretty good because you're Glorfindel and you have like 3 dice plus Lord of the West. So it's pretty good. So you have a better percentage of winning the fight. That's the first thing you're figuring out. Now, if you've won the fight, what are your chances of wounding Dane? Right? He's strength 4, Glorfindel, and Dane is D8. So you're wounding on flat 6s.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if you're Glorfindel, so you have a good chance again of winning, you go in and you have a pretty poor chance of wounding. Now, Dane on the flip side, he has a worse chance of winning the fight, but wounding Glorfindel, he has a better chance. So you want to, it's not just about who can win the fight. Oh, I can win the fight, but okay, but can you wound that thing that you're winning the fight against? Like, there's no point in pouring resources into just winning the fight only to have your strength 3 thing strike, D9 or D8 6 times.
Yeah.
So you need to kind of run through those probabilities. The first the fight, then the wound. It's tricky. It can get tricky.
Yeah.
But Dane's a very good example of, he can be a high risk character to go into because he's hard to beat the fight against, hard to win the fight, hard to wound, and then he'll strike you back hard.
Yeah.
So it's tricky finding the sweet spot there. But yeah, and I mean, you can figure out the percentages too if you really want to. You know, AI exists now. You can type in, what are my chances of, if you really want to start going down the math hammer route. But again, you don't have to. There are calculators, and I think there's some, it's called like MESBG ladder or something that does stats and all the shenanigans for figuring out fights and this and that, but it's not vital.
Yeah.
Are your probabilities low, medium, or high? And you want all the highs to line up.
Yeah.
That's not always the case. But a battle line's a good example. What are 2 battle lines that are like, you're approaching and you're like, hey, this is a good idea or this isn't a good idea? I know,
well,
like Iron Hills.
Like an Iron Hills battle line, like a Army of Airborne battle line, like fight 4 +1 to wound with the spear support.
Yeah.
So 2 dice, and then you're getting hit back at strength 4 +1 to wound, versus like an Arnor battle line, which is strength 3.
Yeah, you're
D6.
Yeah, that's a good example. So sometimes it doesn't make sense because it's a medium chance that you're going to win that fight, but guess what? Airborne, you don't need to be a math genius to realize they're winning you back on 5s.
Yeah.
+1 to wound, and Arnor is winning you back on 6x4s.
Yeah.
6x4s, right? If you're in shield wall, I guess.
Oh, we're talking them 2 fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? So medium both sides, but on the strikes, high probability, low probability. So hey, maybe it makes sense to not even approach them in a shield wall.
Yeah.
But again, that you could really go down all these different types of scenarios for.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 3 things.
Top 3 things why you're losing your games.
Why you're losing your games. Maybe not the top 3, but 3 like very correctable.
Yeah.
Anybody can correct them.
Yeah.
Things. All have been culprits of them, but yeah. And then we're going to be doing. So that's this episode. We're going to be doing all 24 scenarios. We're going to be breaking down every single one. We don't know how long the episodes are going to be yet, but we're going to be touching on every single one and what we think about them and how to play them.
What you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, some thoughts going into it.
So if you want to watch that, then again, like and subscribe. We appreciate it, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.